Hello?
A Tale of Three Trees. This is a tale of three little trees who dreamed of what they wanted to become when they grew up. The first little tree looked up at the stars and said,
I want to be beautiful and admired. I want to be covered with gold and precious stones like a throne that holds a powerful king.
The second little tree looked out at the village nearby and said,
I want to become a big house that holds important events. I want to be a part of history and be remembered for many years to come.
The third little tree stood on a hilltop and said,
I can see everything from here. I don't want to leave the hilltop at all. I just want to grow tall.
Years passed. The rain came, the sun shone, and the little trees grew taller and taller. The trees were becoming new at every moment and were no longer little. One day, a woodcutter looked at the first tree and said,
This tree is beautiful. It is perfect for me.
With a swoop of the axe, the first tree fell.
No. No.
Another woodcutter looked at the second tree and said,
This tree is strong. This is exactly what I need.
With a swoop of the axe, the second tree fell. The third tree felt her heart sink when a woodcutter walked towards her, and with a swoop of the woodcutter's axe, the third tree fell. The first tree rejoiced when the carpenter brought her to the woodshop, but she was confused when she was fashioned into a feed box for animals. She was not covered in gold or precious stones. Instead, she was coated with sawdust and hay. The second tree was thrilled when the carpenter started working, but to her surprise, she was sawed and hammered into a stable, a place for animals. She could not imagine what kind of important event would be happening at the stable. Even though this was not what she dreamed, the third tree became curious about what she was becoming as a carpenter fashioned her into an oddly shaped piece of wood. The third tree was filled with anticipation and wondered if she would go on adventures. What would she get to do? Could there be more to see beyond the hillside? Many, many days and nights passed. The three trees went on to live their new and unexpected lives.
One night, starlight shone brightly on the hay-filled feed box as a woman placed her newborn baby within. The young mother smiled, and suddenly, the first tree knew she was holding the greatest treasure in the world. The second tree could tell that this was no ordinary night. Even the stars shone brighter than usual. She was used to the sound of the cow and the gentle swipe of the horse's tail. But tonight, the stable was more noisy and crowded than usual. There were people. One of them was newly born, so small and so delicate. The second tree knew immediately this was the most important night of all the nights. She was determined to stand tall and strong. After a long day, the third tree was resting next to a shepherd and his sheep, when they awoke to the most beautiful sight and sound. The shepherd picked up the third tree and leaned on it as an angel announced,
I bring good news of great joy, for there is born to you this day a Savior, the Messiah, the Lord.
With the shepherd and his sheep, the third tree quickly made their way and arrived at the stable. The third tree had enjoyed many adventures around the hillside and beyond, but nothing beat what they saw that night. This was the most beautiful view that anyone could have ever witnessed from any hilltop. We often wonder, what could I become? How could I become? We don't always understand all the twists and turns we may experience in our lives. But in God's big story, there's room for everyone, for every talent and every dream. God gives us good things. God invites us to grow and live our lives to the fullest. May today be a reminder of the good news and God's goodwill for all people and all creatures big and small. Merry Christmas from the River Kids and River Youth.
The children are going to stay paused for 1 minute. Parents, this is a good time to stand up and take a photo